Hi, this is my demo of an event-driven microservice architecture that illustrates the use of Azure resources. The scenario is we have a river monitoring station, so these would be the little instrument boxes you'd see at a bridge that crosses a river, and it measures river level and then broadcasts that river level and a photo of the current conditions of the river. In real life, that would be every 15 minutes, but in this scenario, it does it every couple seconds. So the photo is pushed to Azure Blob Store, and the event is pushed to Azure Service Bus topics. The flood warning service is listening for the river observation made event, and it looks up the station parameters using the correlation ID on the event, and it looks to see what the flood levels are, whether or not this river level corresponds to a flood level, minor, moderate, or major. And if the river has crossed into a flood, then it will publish a flood advisory issued event. There's a notification service, which has a database of residents in the area who have filled out notification preferences, and information from the flood advisory are used to match that flood advisory to the residents that should be notified. And then it begins creating notification emails, and rather than stopping to push them out to a delivery service, it just queues them up using Azure Storage Queue as fast as possible. And the idea of this scenario is that there would be a number of email services scaled up when the flood advisory is issued, and they'd be ready to work the queue. So thousands of these notifications are built and put on the queue, and dozens of email services clear that queue and get those emails to people as fast as possible. So that's the setup. If we jump into the portal, what we see we have is a resource group I created for this project, under which these resources have all been created. We have the service bus, which is where the topics for river observations and flood advisories are published. We have the database, which has the table of stations as well as the database of preferences for the notification service. And then we have a storage account. And if I drill into the storage account, we're using containers and queues. We're not using file shares or tables. So our containers are, the container is where the images are uploaded. So if I come up here and I look at one of these, there's the current river conditions. And the queue is just where the emails are put. The queue's empty right now, so there's not much to look at there. And here are the two databases that we're using. So that's the setup. I'm going to go ahead and run this so we can see what happens. It'll take a minute for this to start up. Now, I used a combination of the service bus and the queues just to illustrate different ways to do messaging at Azure. There is another service hub available that can stream messages, which probably would have been a better choice for the email services, but I might go back and do that later. So what we have on the screen here in the upper left-hand corner is the service station, the river monitoring station that's taking river levels. To the right, we have the river warning system, which is going to evaluate that measurement to see if it qualifies. And here you already see that the river is 27 feet, then 29 feet, then 31 feet, and that's triggered a moderate flood advisory, then a major flood advisory. The notification service has gone through and it's, hey, let's go look up all the people who need to be warned and push that out to the queues. And here you see the email addresses, 500 at a time, being blasted to the email services that have been scaled in parallel to clear that out as much as possible. And that's it. I hope you found this interesting.